Welcome to all inspiring chefs, cooks, and everything in between alike. This is Griever, your guys' host as always. This is my bar, the place I am always at. And this is Shokugeki no Soma, also known as Food Wars, Chapter 291. I would say let's get cooking, but do not try any of these things at home, kids. You will either have muscle atrophy, you will either be locked up for being a terrorist, you will ingest diesel fumes and die, or you will scald your hands. So I recommend do not follow this series anymore for any honest cooking techniques or any honest reality as far as cooking goes. I will love to see if they produce, because they already have produced a cookbook from this series showcasing multiple dishes used in the series and how to do them properly. Of course, some of it is used stretched a little far, but nothing too unrealistic. This chapter, I've said it before, as far as the chapter goes, we got the introduction of a lot of the chefs we saw previously about 5, 6, 7 chapters ago. The noir chefs, the clown, the reject from the Bunny Hood mission in Majora's Mask. We saw Esdeath do her thing, of course, last chapter and this chapter, and the like. Now, the chapter basically goes to showcase their skills and say that basically what they are doing is taking a simple piece of meat and making what we've already referred to. Now, this is not bad writing, this part. Bringing up classes. Now, I wish this had been more concrete, that this has been brought up as different sections before, but this part has been foreshadowed for a very long time. Since the autumn election, it has been brought up. This is the specialty class dishes. Now, I wish that they had established a dish class system before and not just everything's either really good but there's a specialty class. Because it's been so just not mundane, but simply broad, and now it's actually saying, oh, there's an actual class system, and we can decide, like, everything we had in the Regiment de Cuisine is, here's your ceiling, there's a tier thing, and a couple of dishes at the end, but we didn't recognize that that's the thing. So we have no indication exactly what stuff that we've seen previously would be considered in this tier. That's for fans to decide, but it's so broad that I don't really like it. I wish that we had established that it's a class of dish that chefs try to go for. And we kind of have. It just could have been done a little better. But I won't say that that part is bad writing. I enjoy that they're bringing specialty from all the way from way back when up to this point and making it still relevant. That is good. I like that. The specialties are not just a one-off, okay, I have my number one dish. No, you've got to be able to make that level of quality regardless of your ingredients and regardless of what you're making. You can't just, like, for example, Soma with his quail. With the quail that he learned from Shinomiya. The quail thing that he tried to perfect into his specialty as far as he could. Mach 2, I believe it was, during the Regiment de Cuisine. During this, I would have, this whole thing was not bad. But everything subsequent of it is, because this is, once again, not so much. And I'm seeing a lot of people saying that the ratings are down. I personally didn't check, so don't take my word for that. But the ratings for this series are in the basement. And I believe it's because the author was trying to do too much at once, and he failed, or he or she, I'm not 100%, the author failed to bring about true concepts, like they could not follow through on a lot of plot threads and make them meaningful, and a lot of plot threads were basically dropped for, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this, and all that did was make a mess. I don't know. I really don't know. The fact of the matter is, and I saw this before, and I have complained that Megami and Takami are here. While people like Alice, Rio, we know Raina's here, but Rindo, Shinomiya, where are these chefs under 35 that we all know leading up to this point? Where are these other chefs? Where are some of the other members of the Elite 10? Not even just the current one, but the old one. Like old. Where's you know, where's our second seat? Who is, as we all know, my guy? Where's Mr. Naked Apron? Because he's still up here. His level is still way up here. So where are these guys? Well, these two show up, and I know I've been complaining about that a lot, and some people are trying to give me reasonings and stuff. And of course, in this chapter, they try to retcon it by saying that Anne has recognized this superhuman quality that the bookmaster's after, and that's where it got silly. I won't say stupid and ass fuck it. It's stupid. They bring up the fact that, yeah, we know we're going to Toriko levels with this. We're doing Prince of Tennis. Like, Prince of Tennis started out, but see, they did it early. That's why I still, even though Prince of Tennis got ridiculous, I still can enjoy it because they did it early on. If you couldn't accept that they can make balls disappear and move faster than light and make copies of themselves and all this, like, Super Saiyan forms, they did that in the first series, and they did it very early. Shokugeki no Soma tried for over 250 chapters to keep it to a level of realism, and then they basically gave up and dropped it, and now they're doing Prince of Tennis, and I've said this multiple times in multiple reviews, and on the old channel I said the same thing. This is what will happen. Shokugeki no Soma you can't do that now. You're too far in. You can't start introducing this now. We're going to start having black hole beef tenderloin. We're going to start having lightning flash, fire... secret technique, fire flame, fire fist, ace, chicken breast. Like, we're going to have weird things now. And they blatantly said it in the chapter, superhuman ability. And then we see the ridiculousness that they do. That is just not normal. Now, going back to my point about Megami and such, and, of course, during all this, about the superhuman ability, now, the bookmaster is basically saying, okay, everyone who's not in the wire is trash. When he literally, as I just pointed out, I can list 10 chefs introduced in the series that are better than everyone, better than Megami and Aldani in this competition from the light chefs, and we've seen just a bunch of light chefs there to be fodder scared people. What are they doing here? This is the blue, the ultimate where every single chef under 35, the greatest chefs in the world under 35 go to compete for the title of #1. What are these people doing here? How many fodder light chefs are there? There can't be that many, especially when you don't bring the magician himself, who is still above Tsukasa and Soma. Facts. So this actually gets me a little riled up. This gets me angry because it would be so easy. Now, once again, we haven't seen him. He could show up in the Before Heaven's Keep there. He could be waiting with Arena and stuff, and we just haven't seen him. That'd be odd, but maybe not. But there's no excuse for other chefs that we know would be on Tsukasa or below level. So, like Rindo, I always forget the ramen guy, the big guy, the name begins with an M, the big giant guy. Of course, the lab coat trio, Hayama, Ryo, his two rivals, Soma's real rivals. Now, Tsukasa is, of course, his current rival right now, and of course we have Saiba and all that stuff. But remember that Ryo and Hayama were always introduced as being his, like, that's the triple set. That's like the monster trio in One Piece. That's how it was established. But then they just fell to the wayside along with Alice. They shouldn't have. They should be here, competing at the first gate and working their way up. And if they show up out of the blue all of a sudden, it's just an asshole, and I'm not going to like it. So what are all these fodder chefs doing here? Just to bring hype to this. It makes no sense. The blue competition literally has no meaning at this point. It shows nothing. And if this guy right here is not there, and if, let me find him, if this guy is not there, waiting along with Arena and Saiba, and where the hell Rindo is, I don't know, then the blue competition, no, it's been fixed since the beginning. If they try to say, oh, the bookmaster fixed it from the beginning because he knew that Shinomiya would be actually, might be able to beat all the noirs because he probably can, then, oh, well, I fixed it because I need the noirs to lead the new generation, blah, 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 blah. No, because it just so happens in the year after the Regiment de Cuisine that finally the noirs, finally this, finally that. It's too convenient, it's too cliche, so I wouldn't like that. I just can't think of where this plot is going to go. Now, Anne, of course, the bookmaster says to Anne, I keep getting lost off track with rants, I'm sorry guys. Anne says that she saw the spark. And we know this is true, that she saw a spark of something in these people. They're calling it the superhuman ability. Spark of superhuman ability, where you're literally saying that these guys are going to start pulling Toriko. The bunny girl actually pulled Toriko. Kuji punch. Like, literally Toriko. Like, there's no ands or buts. The rest of them are pulling a Prince of Tennis. So, I don't know. Like, I still like the series as a whole, but this arc is just... I'm hoping I can get through it similar how I got through the Fullbring arc in Bleach. I read that week to week. I got through that. And say what you want about how Bleach ended and the rushness and all that stuff. The concept and the beginning of the 1,000-year Blood War arc was awesome. It's not great, it's not perfect, it's got problems, but the setup, the characters, Shinigami versus Quincy, stealing mountain guys, all that stuff, it was all awesome. So I could wait through the Fullbring to get myself to that shit. So I can wait through this, and hopefully this arc just hiatus for a couple months. They sit back, the authors and the cooks and all the people, because I know there is a cook that helps them figure out the recipes. Maybe they were fired or something, or they went like this or something. I don't know. But, yeah. I'm hoping they take a hiatus. They need this break. I'm hoping that over Christmas, they say we're coming back in February. They take themselves to Christmas break, New Year's, take a month, think about it, figure out where they've gone wrong, why they're in... This should be in the top 5 right now in rankings, because it could be. But it's not. It's in the basement according to what I've heard online. So, you know you're doing something wrong. Why are you continuing to do things? Like, if I wrote a book, if I wrote a chapter, I'd be checking online every week to see what people like or dislike about it, then be trying to change it. Now, you could say that that's giving into peer pressure, but if for over months, for whole seasons, this has been 3 or 4 months now, consistent problems. At that point, you go to the fan base and you figure out what isn't working with them. Because it's the same problems for the last few months. The problems are the same. We're not, as far as I know, the fan base is not complaining about new problems. It's problems that we saw the seeds of months ago, and it's just continued for no reason. They could have just, like, if you dropped a bad plot thread and went on to write a great one, you could say that, yeah, that didn't work, so the arc isn't a 10 out of 10, because there was that weird thing that happened back at, for 10 chapters, and it really has no place in the arc. But the rest of it, everyone can forgive that. Remember, this is weekly. You can forgive a 1 bad month, 4 bad chapters with a weird plot thread, as long as you recover the next month and bring us some gold. And this is not happening. So I don't know what is going on here. Of course, we see no Soma, actually, but we see Megami, Tsukasa, and Alani. They're looking at the meat, and they're trying to figure out how to make a specialty class dish. Which, once again, Megami, really, the thing that took Soma over 200 chapters to figure out how to do, is now going to be on that level? What? The growth is even kind of weird. Like, I'm okay with Megami being in the Elite 10 and definitely growing into her character. Great character development for her. But she should not be able to make a specialty class dish. She should not be able to make a dish on the level of what Soma attempted to cook for Shinomiya, or what was cooked by Soma and Arena in the Regiment de Cuisine, or what Tsukasa made in the Regiment de Cuisine. She should not be able to make that level of dish. And from what I understand, the specialty class is that level of dish. So, I don't know, guys. This review is going on long enough. So what did you guys think of the chapter? Give me your honest thoughts. And what did you think of the review? I know I'm ranting a lot, and I'm trying my best not to hate on the series. Once again, I love the series. That's why I continue to read it and continue to review it week to week. I do not skip chapters. I don't skip chapters of One Piece. I don't skip chapters of Taizai, chapter 291 of Taizai. I wish I had skipped. I wish I hadn't even read it, let alone reviewed it. But I stick to what I love, because the series as a whole is still something I love. So I want to make sure that everyone knows that. I'm not here to bash the series. I'm here to give a voice to everything I'm reading online, to give a voice to what I personally believe. And I'm going to stop trying to come up with ways to fix it when clearly nobody's listening. We have, and I don't refer to people watching my videos, I refer to the fan base as a whole being on mute. We're apparently silent. Even though we're saying the same things week to week on all the forums. Here's what's the problems. Don't do this. And they continue to produce the same problems over and over. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm hoping that by the new year we have a hiatus. Maybe it comes back better than before. Maybe this is the end for Shokugeki no Soma. Hard to say. Drink responsibly, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe if you feel like it. And this has been Griever with your Behind the Bar reviews. Shokugeki no Soma. See you next time.